Some of the greatest anime shows show you a slow burn rise of a hero from nothing to epicness. But sometimes you just don't have the patience for that. Sometimes you want the first episode to start off with an MC that just reveals these crazy powers and that shocked moment for everyone around him. That moment when they realise, whoa, this is literally a god. Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us today on Animeology. You've probably seen the animes that start off with an insanely powerful MC. You're probably already thinking Bleach, Sword Art Online, One Punch Man. But this list is some quality anime recommendations that you probably haven't heard of. Number 10. God of High School. Yes, we know, the ultimate dream would be being the God of High School. This series started off as a webtoon quite a while back, but has slowly developed a really solid fan base. The series is pretty new and definitely worth checking out. Bringing a nice mix of comedy to the martial arts anime with a well-done supernatural twist. It doesn't get too ridiculous, but the likeable characters and relatable dialogue is really what manages to make this such a huge success. Basically, the universe of God of High School deals with three really unique species from three really different realms. You have the human realm, arguably the weakest, the sage realm filled with mythical creatures, monsters, think dragons and stuff. And then there's the heavenly realm, the most powerful and filled with gods and legends like Hercules and archangels. The story follows a high schooler that joins up to a martial arts tournament that involves all three realms. Although he's just a mere human, he is unbelievably strong and gives the most powerful fighters from the heavenly realm something to fear. A carefree, comedic and friendly MC that is definitely a tough guy, but also one of the main reasons that God of High School is such a brilliant watch. Number 9. The Prince of Tennis. Some of you might be groaning, sports animes are definitely an acquired taste, but keep your minds open. If you're going to try out a sports-based anime, then definitely go for The Prince of Tennis. Although our MC is insanely powerful from the start, there is a really intimate journey here of a boy turning into a man. Mainly set in Tokyo, we follow an insanely strong tennis prodigy. He attends an elite tennis academy with some of the strongest players around the world. In the first episode, he defeats some of the best students and instantly gets placed in the team. Follow him on his journey to win the championship as he starts learning really complex techniques while developing his own unique style. A really fun and interesting anime where you watch this young man learn what it means to be a sportsman and to have a real love for what you do. Join him on his journey as he perfects his art as he challenges himself and pushes himself further. Sure, it may not be dragons and spaceships and huge swords, but trust us, The Prince of Tennis is a great series. Number 8. Kenja no Mago. Kenja no Mago has a really well thought out and brilliant isekai world with a great fantasy theme. It starts off with a young man that dies in a world and gets sent to an isekai world, reborn as a baby. Raised by a hero, he learns some insanely powerful magic, but his greatest weakness? He lacks common sense. A really fun and interesting character background that is explored really well throughout the series. In fact, what makes our MC so insanely strong in this isekai world is the fact that he combines his human knowledge of science with the magic realm. He literally changes the isekai world by applying magic to human technology that the fantasy world cannot even believe. Some comedy, some drama, there really is everything here for everybody. Number 7. Roka no Yusha. What makes this such a fantastic watch is the really intricate and heavy mystery throughout. Although heavily action-based with some awesome fantasy elements to it, the general tone and plot outlines really had us glued to our seats, never really sure how things would turn out. 6 people have been chosen and are known as the Braves of the Six Flowers, selected by the Goddess of Fate to defeat the Demon God, but when they actually meet up, there are 7. One of the 7 is an imposter and actually sent to infiltrate them by the Demon God. Our MC claims that he is the strongest man in the world, and definitely proves it. Another really cool aspect of this series is the artwork and setting. Even just looking in the background, you get this really unique Aztec Mayan sense with temples, the language and design, just a really great anime that is so interesting and really well written. Number 6. Kyoko Suri. We really like Kyoko Suri. It's pretty different to most animes out there, and it definitely does what it's set out to do really well. Just the tone alone of this series makes it worth watching. There is this really heavy mystery with all these thriller vibes, although some absolutely breathtaking beauties, although not too heavy on the romance. The story jumps straight into it and we learn about Kuro, our MC, that is still trying to get over his ex-girlfriend when another strange girl confronts him and tells Kuro she's been in love with him for the past 2 years. This new girl is some sort of divine being, a goddess of wisdom that acts as the link between the real world and the supernatural. We realise that even our MC isn't as innocent as you want to believe. No spoilers here, sorry. Just go and check out Kyoko Suri. Just go and check out Kyoko Suri. Trust us. Number 5. Katana Gatari. The best kind of journey-type animes are the ones with a very clear end. Like, it becomes extremely apparent what the MC is aiming for, and as a viewer, you really feel proud as you see those milestones reached. Katana Gari means sword hunt. It's the journey to find 12 weapons that were created by a famous swordsmith. The story follows a young swordsman that doesn't actually fight with a sword. Our MC is actually so powerful with his bare hand fighting style, he was selected for this journey because the power of the sword would not corrupt him. We join him on his swashbuckling action-packed adventure as he heads off with a very interesting group of hunts for these legendary swords. A fantastic journey with a really great sense of accomplishment. You watch it for the strong storyline, but it's impossible not to fall in love with the characters. Number 4. Monster Strike. Many of you must be thinking, Monster Strike, isn't that a game? Well, yeah, it is a game. A very successful game. But it actually got turned into a pretty successful series of films and a brilliant anime. We follow Ren Homura, a middle schooler that is forced to move back to his hometown to live with his mother and his sister. He has no memory of the place and is basically a stranger. His phone breaks and he gets it installed. Ren realises that the repairman installed the popular game Monster Strike onto it. Yeah, we know that's the name of the series, but Ren learns that the world of Monster Strike and the real world are actually combined. In a strange Pokemon type deal, we find Ren joining up and competing in a higher tier Monster Strike game. You'd think him really bad, but his memory starts to come back and remembers his past life and skills as an ace Monster Strike player. The anime has an awesome tension and thrill of a tournament and competition in life or death situations, with the interesting backstory in which you really start to learn about our MC and his mysterious past. Number 3. Darker Than Black. Honestly, we have a real soft spot for sci-fi. Darker Than Black brings a really interesting blend of sci-fi with a heavy sense of mystery and a splash of supernatural, just in case. Thematically, Darker Than Black is probably our favourite recommendation on this list, and it's easy to see why. We learn about this weird anomaly known as Heaven's Gate that appears a long time ago in South America. Later on, Hell's Gate opens up in Tokyo, drastically changing the environment and giving people these special abilities, each with extremely unique powers. But these powers come at a cost of their humanity. These people are basically demigods and do whatever they want. From beatings to murders, nothing can really stop them. Countries and companies take advantage of these contractors and use them as spies and assassins. Darker Than Black is huge. It's a complete look at a world that has become radically shocked by this supernatural occurrence. We see the effects on a personal level all the way to an international and political level. Very dark and definitely not for the faint of heart. You really need to see this anime. Number 2. Chrome-Shelled Regios. A really fun mix of fantasy and light science fiction, Chrome-Shelled Regios is set on an alternative version of Earth that is dominated by these weird part machine, part beasts that are called filth monsters. They really look as disgusting as they sound. Because of these horrifying beasts, humans are forced to live in these mobile cities that are called Regios. Constantly staying on the move to try and avoid encountering these incredibly dangerous filth monsters, the MC is one of the 12 wielders of Heaven's Blade. These incredibly powerful weapons require a very strong user with powerful control of the forces needed to use these custom-made weapons. We slowly start to see some serious truth about this horrible version of Earth and everything behind it. The slow burn unravelling lore is complemented really well with the day-to-day struggles for survival. And number 1, Black Cat.
Oh, やっとやる気になったみてえだな。
This anime follows Train Hartnett, yes, that is really his name, and his decision to stop working as an elite assassin in order to become a bounty hunter. A really interesting character is what makes this anime such a thrilling watch, although the well thought out science fiction and really well made fight scenes keep us glued to the screen. Train adds a few interesting characters to his group and encounters some pretty heavy technology that he should not be getting involved with. Although he tries to keep his nose clean, Train can't help but get sucked into global terrorism plots and political ploys. Brilliantly stylish and an extremely fun watch, there is something in Black Cat for everyone to enjoy.